The retail apocalypse continues to reshape America's commercial landscape, with 2024 marking another challenging year for traditional brick-and-mortar stores. As we dive into the list of retailers facing closure, it's important to understand the perfect storm of factors contributing to their downfall. The rise of e-commerce, changing consumer habits, and the lasting impact of the pandemic. Tuesday morning, once a beloved discount home goods retailer, has already begun its final chapter. After 49 years of operation, the company announced the closure of all its remaining 200 stores across the country. This comes after multiple bankruptcy filings and failed attempts to restructure their business model. Their inability to compete with online retailers and off-price giants like TJ Maxx and HomeGoods ultimately sealed their fate. Bed Bath & Beyond, a household name for decades, continues its dramatic downsizing. While the brand still exists under new ownership, hundreds of physical locations are shuttering their doors permanently. The company's decline serves as a cautionary tale of failing to adapt to changing consumer preferences and digital transformation. Their famous big box stores, once filled with towering shelves of home goods, now stand as empty monuments to retail's changing landscape. Party City, the go-to destination for celebrations and costumes, is facing its own existential crisis. After filing for bankruptcy protection, the company is closing numerous locations nationwide. The rise of online party supply retailers and discount stores offering similar products at lower prices has eaten into their market share. The pandemic's impact on social gatherings dealt another significant blow to their business model. Gap Inc. is implementing an aggressive store closure strategy across its portfolio of brands. Both Gap and Banana Republic locations are being shuttered as the company shifts focus to its more profitable brands and online presence. The closures reflect a broader trend of fashion retailers struggling to maintain expensive retail footprints in an increasingly digital marketplace. Foot Locker announced plans to close over 400 underperforming locations, primarily in shopping malls. This strategic decision reflects the ongoing decline of mall-based retail and the shift toward direct-to-consumer sales by major athletic brands. The company is repositioning itself with a focus on standalone stores and digital commerce. CVS, despite being a pharmacy giant, isn't immune to retail pressures. The company plans to close approximately 900 stores over 3 years, with many closures scheduled for 2024. This represents a strategic pivot toward healthcare services and digital health solutions, moving away from traditional retail operations. Macy's, an iconic department store chain, continues its multi-year downsizing effort. The company is closing additional locations as it attempts to right-size its retail footprint and invest in its digital presence. These closures particularly impact smaller markets and aging mall locations where foot traffic has declined significantly. Big Lots is another retailer facing significant challenges. The discount store chain is closing numerous locations as it struggles with inventory management issues and increasing competition from dollar stores and online retailers. Their attempts to compete in both the discount and traditional retail spaces have led to identity confusion among consumers. JCPenney, despite emerging from bankruptcy, continues to evaluate its store portfolio. Additional closures are expected as the company attempts to find its footing in the modern retail landscape. Their struggle highlights the broader challenges facing traditional department stores in maintaining relevance with younger consumers. Express, the fashion retailer, is implementing a significant restructuring plan that includes store closures across the country. The company's struggle to attract younger shoppers and compete with fast fashion retailers has led to declining sales and market share. Rite Aid, following its bankruptcy filing, is closing hundreds of locations nationwide. The pharmacy chain's inability to compete with larger rivals and mounting debt has forced a dramatic reduction in its retail presence. This restructuring reflects the broader consolidation within the pharmacy sector. Office Depot continues to shrink its retail footprint as the office supply sector faces declining demand. The shift to remote work and digital solutions has reduced the need for traditional office supplies, forcing the company to reimagine its business model. Walgreens, despite its market position, is closing numerous locations as part of a cost-cutting initiative. The company cites changing consumer behaviors and increased operating costs in certain markets as primary factors in these closures. Dollar Tree and Family Dollar are selectively closing underperforming locations while simultaneously opening new stores in more promising markets. This strategic repositioning reflects the evolving dynamics of discount retail and the importance of location selection. Petco is reevaluating its store portfolio as competition in the pet supply sector intensifies. The company faces pressure from online retailers and specialized local pet stores, forcing a reassessment of its physical presence. Christmas Tree Shops, once a subsidiary of Bed Bath & Beyond, is closing all locations after failing to successfully operate as an independent entity. Their struggle highlights the challenges facing seasonal retailers in maintaining year-round profitability. David's Bridal, despite its specialized market position, continues to face challenges in the modern retail landscape. The shift toward more casual weddings and online shopping has impacted their traditional business model. Staples is reducing its retail footprint as office supply sales continue to migrate online. The company's transformation toward business services hasn't been enough to maintain its extensive store network. 99-cents only stores announced the closure of all locations, ending a 42-year run in the extreme value retail sector. Their inability to maintain profitability while keeping prices low ultimately led to their demise. These closures represent more than just individual business failures. They reflect fundamental changes in how Americans shop and consume. The retailers that survive will be those that successfully balance physical presence with digital capabilities, understand evolving consumer preferences, and maintain operational efficiency in an increasingly competitive marketplace. For employees affected by these closures, the impact is immediate and personal. Many communities will lose familiar shopping destinations and employment opportunities. However, this retail transformation also creates opportunities for new businesses and concepts to emerge, potentially better aligned with current consumer needs and preferences. The retail landscape continues to evolve, and while these closures represent the end for some historic brands, they also signal the ongoing transformation of American retail. Success in this new era requires adaptation, innovation, and a deep understanding of changing consumer behaviors. As we witness these changes, it's clear that retail's future will look very different from its past.